All right, we need some fantasy gospel here. It is fantasy playoff time. Every league in the fantasy playoffs now. We are right down to it. I believe this is the 2022 season finale of the fantasy gospel, according to Brother Jefferson.
Rise up! The fantasy church is open! Yes, indeed. Okay, my brothers, we are here. We are at the very end of the fantasy season. I want to first give a shout out to Pastor Pellicero for joining us from our Minneapolis congregation. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Brother Brockman and Brother Del Tufo, along with Sister Aaliyah. She was here today. Basically, this is it, folks, right? We got our fantasy playoffs or fantasy championships in some cases. They're here, and I want to help you get to that promised land, right? I want to help you get to the championship of your fantasy league. And with this fantasy hymnal, like we've been doing all year, this is how we're going to make it happen, all right? Now, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you about the people that you might not want to play this week, Tom, if you have the chance. Have them sitting on the pew next to you, for they are not him, and they will not lead you to the land of righteousness and glory. Yes, indeed. Brian Robinson, running back of the Commanders at the 49ers. Listen, he's splitting time with Antonio Gibson. This is a tough matchup against that 49ers defense. I don't like anybody against them, really. And they're number one in fewest fantasy points allowed to running backs on the season. Matter of fact, only one back has scored a touchdown against San Francisco since week 7. So if you got a better option, make sure Brother Brian Robinson is sitting on that pew next to you. Now for the quarterback, I got Deshaun Watson. Listen, it's going to be a bad weather game in Cleveland as he takes on these Saints. And the Saints D is really good, as we already know. I predict that this is going to be kind of a running game. I think Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb are going to get the bulk of the carries, do a lot of the work. If you have a better option, sit Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr. Derek Carr is terrible in cold weather. I don't know if people realize this. Yeah, he's got Devontae Adams, but there's something about this game in Pittsburgh this week, and all signs are pointing that maybe this might not be Carr's game. This might not be the Raiders' night. If you got a better option, I say sit, bench Derek Carr this week. All right, now for the players who will help you rise up and get fantasy glory and win those championships, we must open up the book to Gardner Minshew. That's right. Listen, I don't think Gardner Minshew's as good as Jalen Hurts. I don't, but I do believe this. Look, he could be the 5th quarterback this season to score 20 or more points against the Cowboys. And he did start 2 games last year without A.J. Brown. He actually had 18 points against the Cowboys in week 18 last year. So I feel like Gardner's probably good for about a 20-point game this week. I feel like there's going to be some points put up. I wouldn't hesitate. If you have the option, if you had Hurts and no other quarterback, slide Gardner in there. I don't think he's going to let you down. I think he'll put up some decent numbers. Raheem Mostert, Dolphins against the Packers. Now, Mostert had 17 carries for $136 and a catch for 20 yards last week, right? He's a good matchup against the Pack because they've allowed a running back to score at least 13 PPR points in each of the last 5 games. So I like him as a starter if you have the chance to slide him in there. And then Marquise Goodwin. I just like Marquise Goodwin, man. And I feel, Lockett's out, broke his finger. DK Metcalf is going to be seeing, a lot of coverage. So got a good feeling about Marquise. Slide him in there. The Chiefs have allowed the 5th most fantasy points against opposing wide receivers. So, Brother Goodman, I just got a good feeling about him. I feel that he might lead you to the land of milk and honey.
What percentage of leagues is Marquise Goodwin owned in right now?
I'd say, I think I saw this. It's probably like 20%. It's not very high.
It can't be.
He's out there. And
that is
like I said, Lockett's out.
You're saying in the playoffs.
In the playoffs,
not
brother.
Not the regular season.
Not the regular
fantasy
season.
Playoffs.
When the money's on the line, Tom, when it's all on the line. Yes, indeed. And if you have a chance, look, he's just a guy, he's sitting out there for sure. If you have the room, you probably had Lockett. He's out. Marquise Goodwin, put him in there. Now we're going to go to the head or gut pick, right? This is the one where you just have to look at the stats. You got to go with your gut. And for this head or gut pick, something happened, as we all know, in the football world. Franco Harris passed away, and we were going to celebrate that immaculate reception. Now he's going to get a different type of immaculate reception when he reaches the Holy Land, when he reaches the pearly gates. That's going to be the greatest type of immaculate reception I believe that Franco Harris can get as he transitions. I'm going to say, in honor of him, let's start Najee Harris against Las Vegas, because the story's already written, right? You got the Franco Harris thing. You got the immaculate reception. Pittsburgh's going to be buzzing. There's going to be something about this game. And I feel like Najee has a chance to maybe, put a stamp on the game, honor Franco Harris. And also, I'll give you some stats here. The Raiders have allowed the 5th most fantasy points to running backs this year. And a running back has scored or gained 100 total yards against Vegas 9 games in a row, with 12 touchdowns scored over that span. And Najee has scored a touchdown in 4 of his past 5. So I believe the brother Franco's going to look down on him and maybe bless Najee to have a huge game. And that's what we're looking. Rest in peace, Franco. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for taking this fantasy journey with me this week. And as always, let us play.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.